What's up guys, it's Wubny here, and today's video is going to be how me, a 17-year-old, stores over 600 items in a storage unit. I was looking back at the footage and realized I didn't record an intro, so I recorded this video 4 days ago, and that's why my shirt's off, because I'm just getting it out the way. But anyways guys, let's get into it. See you guys in my storage unit. So guys, you might be hearing the rain right now, but I just want to go through my storage unit, show you guys how I organize and store my items. And you can see a little bit of an overview. I'm going to try to get a little higher, a little more face down, but this is the general overview of my storage unit, August 5th, 2020. You're being held up by a few of my packages that I'm bringing in, but let's just start off. So I have a clothing rack right here for the bigger items. So like items like this that you can't really fold and store, I hang up on here. If you like the bigger jackets as well, I have all of those on this rack. I'm sorry if you hear the rain. I know it's really bad, but besides the rack, let's move that over here. First off, my laundry hamper is where I store my bats and guitars and stuff, but like a bicycle pump, anything kind of tall, kind of awkward, is where it starts getting interesting. So I have bins, A1 through 6 and B1 through 6 on top of C1, 2, and this is my temporary C3 bin, mainly because I'm running out of clothing space. So what I typically do is each one of these bins, it's everything. So bike parts, video games, controllers, whatever. But I try to keep it down to about this much in a bin, because say for example, I sell Xbox controller 3 in B1. I go to B1, look for it, Xbox controller 3, put it in my take-home print label bag. Right? When I first started, I overloaded the bins, and that's not good. You know, you might think, hey, less room for storage, right? But imagine, hey, I sold an item in A2. You gotta dig through 60 items. I believe some of my bins are still like that. So for example, look at all that. Say for example, I sell this. Right here. It's all the way to the bottom. I gotta dig through it, take it all out, and it's just a headache, just a hassle, right? I ended up splitting some of my storage. So I have A1 through 6 and B1 through 6. And then on top of that, you see how I have 2 shelves above, 1 shelf, 2 shelf of just no totes, right? So what I do there is any big items like these bags, these helmets, bigger parts like this, I list it as A shelf, B shelf, C shelf. So for example, if you go on my eBay store, you will see these light bulbs. The title would be something like dimmable recessed LED downlight 12 watt blah 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 dash A shelf. Because they are on A shelf, they're above the A bins. And my storage itself, I have stuff ranging from biker stuff to bags, hell of a lot of clothing, spark plugs, gaming system. This is on C shelf. See how it's on shelf, the C shelf. That's how I find it. Depending on the kind of video game system, you can briefly see it over there. It's where I keep my media. So when it comes to media, I typically I was trying to do PlayStation, then Xbox, and then movies, and then VHS tapes. But I ended up getting a lot more PlayStation games than I did Xbox games and everything. And I got a huge amount, at least 50 VHS tapes, which I sold for like $9 a piece. Some of them I even sold for 20 because they were rare. So I ended up just throwing them on here. Once I get to strictly video games, I'm gonna organize and probably system shelf, and then put it in alphabetical order depending on how many of each system's games I have. Now you guys saw the brief overview of over there being held up by my stool because I'm short. You gotta get the stuff on the tall shelves. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to do basically I'm gonna walk around, I'll flip the camera, walk around, describe everything briefly, and then I'll give you guys my future plans with my storage unit. This is the video game shelf. This is gonna be where I put the bigger items, wherever I have space. Once again, sorry if you hear the rain, I know it's really loud. So because this is too big for a bin, and it's on the shelf with the A totes, that's A shelf. These, because they're too big for the bins, and these are B's, this is B shelf. And then C's for clothing. I have more shelves because I hate listing clothing. So most of my items are on C shelf. You can see all the spark plugs, gaming console. These are some broken Wii's right here. Wii 4, I already sold one of my broken Wii's. A bunch of visors, goggles. These are like snowmobile goggles or like dirt bike goggles. These I'm gonna end up getting rid of. I haven't sold a single one of these, and I've had them up here for a couple months. Maybe I might just drop the price, maybe get it $2 a piece for them. Some of my lots right there, so there's a lot. All these are labeled lots. This is a motorcycle helmet, everything. Right now, this is my brake pad box. I spelled brake pads wrong, but I sold through most of them. And I ended up getting lazy, so I started throwing some of these oil filters on here because I didn't know where else to put them at, because at the time I didn't have B-totes. Then I have a pair of shoes, a little game I found in my closet when I was young that I never used, so it had all the parts. Paintball mask, I believe is what that is. Shoes, these things, some things I pre-bubble wrap, so I believe this is a motherboard. A7NX8X-X, yep, that's a motherboard. It's a Star Trek plaque. Once again, that'll be on C-shelf on my eBay store. Motorcycle seat, bag, any of the big stuff like that. These are just full of random stuff. So for example, B1 has a few gasket kits as well as Xbox controllers, controller chargers. Let's go to B6. Everything ranging from Guitar Hero pedal that you guys saw in my previous video to silverware, some kind of, I think this is like a wine enthusiast thing, Sharper Image something, to some kind of clothing. I don't believe that's clothing, but it's kind of like a bag, to A3 having mostly motorcycle stuff because this is what I sourced at the time. But if you were to dig through it, you'd find other stuff, right? The only tote I have organized is A1, and that's where I put the stuff where the packaging matters. So toys or things like this where you don't want it out of the packaging, if I put new in packaging and it's really important, like this is a toy and it's a collector's toy, so obviously you want the packaging to be as good as possible. I put the items that need their packaging looked at more carefully in that tote. Bigger stuff once again, and then the gaming stuff. So guys, this is after filming the outro. I'm gonna put it before it. I left, or almost left the parking lot and I forgot to show you guys how to actually find your items. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Metal Gear Solid. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here, Metal Gear PS1. A lot of the video games, if I know it's on media shelf, because that's where I put all my video games, I don't put media in the title. Now, let's say, for example, I also sold a mouse, but I believe it's in B2. Yep, so I'm gonna go over to B2, take the mouse, put it with the other items, and so on. I sold 4 items today. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other 2 items, and I'll be back with you guys. So guys, I have 3 items. I forgot the other item I sold is the Xbox guitar, which I already have back at my house. So then what I do once I have the items out, I'll push back into clothing, close the door, turn the volume down because this might be kind of loud. Once the door's closed, I'll come, lock it up. Then once locked up, I always bring 1 or 2 of these bags, and then I'll put the items in here, and then walk out to my car. And then if some of you guys are asking how I know what to put in which bin, I personally, you can put it in the subheading or something. I just put dash, or I put the straight line with the storage. But how I know where to take it is, I used to do it on my phone. I used to put it in notes, and it became really, really cluttered. And once I lost all the stuff on my phone that one time, it really started scaring me. So now I start writing it down. I'll write down this little notebook, this little 7-Eleven notebook, because y'all know I'm a sales associate at 7-Eleven and everything. Yellow plate, you follow it, B3. Gaskets ×2, because I listed 2 gasket kits that day, B2. Wii, you guys saw Wii 4. That's what I showed you on this padded flat rate envelope. See how it says C-shelf? And then what I do is, as soon as I drop it off, once I know it's in here safely, I put a check against it right there. Or yesterday I dropped off all of these. You see the check marks. 21 men, 32 by 30 jeans. Boom, drop that off. American Eagle small V-neck shirt, drop that off. Guitar Hero foot pedal, you all saw earlier, that was in B6. So that's how I do my storage. But this video is gonna be in the Wubny's Business Ventures playlist. And if you guys don't know, this is the playlist where I document my personal business ventures and my personal growth as an eBay entrepreneur. But anyways guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and keep flipping.